Knights of Nebras have give us back a lot of good stuff, but the one that I really want to talk about is Exodia Contagion. You see, Exodia Contagion is one of the arcane that you can equip on your Zor, despite it just only for Zor, but the power that Exodia Contagion can deliver is not even weak compared to other melee weapon. But if you ask me how strong and how do we play Exodia Contagion, that is why we will be taking a look at how do we use and how do we improve its damage in this video. So without further ado, let's hop right into it. In order to use Exodia Contagion, first you will need to either double jump or bullet jump. And after you jump, you will need to aim glide. During aim gliding, press the melee button so that you can launch a projectile. This is how you use the Exodia Contagion by default. Now, we know that Exodia Contagion can only be equipped on Zor, so what Zor should we create? You see, Exodia Contagion damage are so high that we most of the time would just increase the damage and critical chance and damage to the maximum. We don't care about speed and status chance because those two are quite irrelevant. Especially if you can frequently launch the projectile, attack speed is not even a problem. That's why in my Zor here, I'm using a Dokram, Corp, and a Vargit to Ruhan to create a Zor that have maximum damage and also have maximum critical chance. Now, for our Exodia Contagion build for our Zor, we don't care about our stances here because we don't really use it at all. Of course, the Arcane will be mandatory. We go with Prime Pressure Point and Sacrificial Steel because we're not going for heavy attack, so just regular Prime Pressure Point is enough. We of course need August Shadow to increase our critical damage and Prime Smite to increase damage to the certain faction. I go with Corrosive here. You can go with Viral, but that's your own choice. I'm quite comfortable with Corrosive and Gladiator Might to further enhance our critical damage, and I'm going with Spoil Strike to further increase my damage. But wait, we all know that melee weapon can do heavier attacks. So, if Zor is a melee weapon, can the Exodia Contagion Zor can do heavy attack? The answer is, of course. But how do we do a heavy attack with the Exodia Contagion? Of course, this trait will only be available for PC, so I do apologize for all those players who play with other consoles. But let's see how do we do it. You will be double jump or bullet jump like usual and then aim gliding like the usual. But rather than go immediately with melee button, we'll first use the left control button to slide gliding first. At this point on, we'll be immediately use the heavy attack, not the melee button. That way, we'll be able to use Exodia Contagion heavy attack. Now, for our Exodia Contagion heavy attack build here, we'll be using the same build except we'll be changing a little bit. First, we'll be changing into Sacrificial Pressure because the extra critical chance for heavy attacks will not only push it to get outside orange but maybe even red crits. And for our Organ Shatter, we'll be replacing it with Amalgam Organ Shatter because it will give us extra heavy attack 1 speed. This also means that Killing Blow will be much more useful rather than Gladiator Might so that we can get outside extra heavy attack and heavy attack 1 speed. And last but not least, we'll be having Corrupt Charge here for Spoil Strike because the extra initial combo here will give us ×2 multiplier in the very beginning so that we can consistently doing heavy attack with a little bit improved power. And that's it for how I try to make Exodia Contagion strong enough to take down a lot of enemies at once. The power of Exodia Contagion not only strong to certain enemies, but also can be even faced against bosses, as well as I usually like to use it for Profit Taker a lot of time. I really recommend you to get this Exodia Contagion Arcane as soon as possible, because if you're really willing to invest into it, I will guarantee that it will not disappoint you. If this is your first time watching, why not leave a like and subscribe to my channel so that you won't miss out any newest content from me. Why not leave your comment down below if you got any ideas or thought you want to share with all of us. And that is from me, and as always, I will see you all next time. Bye bye!